We're ripping it up this week.
This week we've got 3 new tools from our friends at Karen Foster, so we'll explore some tips and techniques for getting a really cool, very controlled torn edge.
Now, Sarah, you used 2 words of the same sentence that I don't know that I've ever heard together, torn and controlled.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put the seed into your head so that you could start thinking about how exactly we can get this. And our friends at Karen Foster have developed the Rippin rulers, which will give us precisely that effect.
Yes, well, let's look at the end result first. So this card has several torn edges.
Yes, it does. Now, one thing I have to point out about tearing paper, and I'm sure you've discovered this as well, when you're tearing, no matter how carefully you're doing it, if you're doing it just freehand, very often I end up with some areas that are wider, some areas that are much, much narrower, and perhaps I want a bit more of a control.
Gosh, Sarah, I've never had that trouble. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I know that you've had that trouble because I've seen you do it.
Yes, you have. Well, and that's where these rulers,
don't lie to me.
I'm sorry, that's where these rulers will help, because they do give that control part of it.
Exactly.
So, and just as we were going down this card, wanted to point out that now these edges have been inked, so it just gives you, really lets you see them, but there's this blue piece has been torn on both edges, and the green on one. The edge of the envelope, yes, isn't that nice? And then also right here. So you end up almost with some stripes, sort of.
Exactly.
And they're torn, and the thing that helps you do this are these metal rulers, and they're called Rippin rulers.
Right, I've got the 3rd one over here. So we've got 3 all together, and then you'll notice on the outside edges, you've got a pattern here, a pattern here.
Different
and then
ones.
you've also got 2 on the inside edge. Those are the same.
Right, these are mirror image, so sometimes you can tear it more easily one way than another.
It's nice to have, yeah.
They are heavy metal, and actually Karen Foster had something like this quite a while ago, and then they were discontinued. So these have been brought back, and they're crystal, sapphire, and
tiger eye.
Tiger eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me bring in this card here so that we can take another look at a very different technique. Well, same technique, but a different look because we're using vellum.
Yes.
So the torn edge is on the vellum paper. This has been chalked top and bottom on that torn edge.
So you're seeing 3 pieces of vellum here.
Right, placed on the striped paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you want to see how to do it?
I do.
Okay, can you hand me the tiger eye, please?
Is this the one you want?
Yes.
Okay.
And with the vellum tears very nicely. We've also torn with regular pattern paper as well as cardstock.
Yes.
So we've got some different looks. And what I found with the vellum, with this piece in particular, because it's a very distinctive.
It's also pretty deep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so there's
You were
some
calling this
highs and
camel
lows.
humps?
Yeah, they do look like camels going along there. And what I found with the vellum is that if I could kind of crease this up along the edge,
Okay.
it just made it a little bit easier, because in order to get those very deep indentations, I found that I need to hold this down very firmly onto my work surface, and I need to tear toward me.
So just notice as Sarah's tearing this, she's pulling it very much toward her, and she's over here, right there.
Yeah.
And she's also moving her hand right along. She's not just...
It's not one big rip.
Yeah, so those were important pieces to note.
Yeah. Now, if you have any little innies in here that I didn't quite get, you just pop those off.
Either that
No
or
problem.
turn it over.
Yeah, you can. Oh, there you go.
And I think the thing to know is that what you are going to get is a torn edge. It's going to look somewhat like a scissor edge, but it's not going to be perhaps as clean.
It's not as clean.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and we did try this with vellum. We tried it with regular pattern paper and with cardstock. It seemed to us to be easier, the lighter weight paper rather than a heavier weight.
Right. Now, I've also slid this in here so that we can take a look at these inside patterns too. So I've got this ready for you to tear.
For me? And you're making me do it left-handed?
Oh, am I? I'm trying to do this backwards. But
you want me to do it?
Yeah,
okay.
if you want to just pull that at an angle toward you, this is where we get into some of the different patterns on there.
Okay.
And again, you've got the mirror image on the other side. You will have a torn.
I think I'm going to have to do it this way.
I'm sorry I did that. I didn't mean to do it that way.
But I do find, and vellum is a little bit, you know, you don't, any crease that you get on it, as we know, is there forever. So.
But it's torn, so yeah, it's kind of, you want that kind of.
So this kind of looks pretty jagged, but again, if you turn it over, you've got that pattern going on. So shall we look at some other samples?
Okay,
We've got
let's look at an album page.
A couple of album, nice and bright. This is really fun. So we've got several things going on, and we're going to need to get in close so that you can see. But our background paper is the stripe, and then we've put a dot along the top, and we've torn, or Laura has torn, one edge, so you can see the wave look that's going on there.
She's done it on these strips too, which is a lot of fun.
I like that.
And a larger piece and a smaller one, just the little tidbits of it.
It also looks like putting it in one way is going to give you the colored edge, and maybe another way is going to give you the white edge?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Then going down, you see a hint of this larger orange piece that has become a large border. That has a white edge.
Isn't that great? And I like having the white edge separating those pattern papers because it does give you a little bit of a difference.
It's kind of a matte, isn't it? So then she's got the white, orange, and then she's got a narrower dot, which is echoing the dot at the top, and then a blue right along the center. And so if we back up, we can see the whole thing. And it's kind of fun that we've got this wavy, you know.
Yeah, for a beach page.
Yeah, it works really great. And you have another page?
I do. Again, stay in the fresh, fun citrus colors. And this is not a beach page. This is a friends get-together page. But it's very similar style of techniques. This orange portion here, this border, is going this way, obviously. And then we've also got some torn pieces that are going horizontally. So it's a nice combination.
Probably need to get in close so that you can see that. And you can mix and match your patterns because you do have quite a few different ones in the collection. And we'll just go right along that edge so you can see how.
Very fun.
Yeah.
There's some of our hot off the press people.
Yes.
So what else can you do with the Rippin ruler?
Well, I think you can just do anything you want. Any place there's paper, you can rip it. Now, this is our 8.5 by 11 Sarah Surface portfolio, and which is a great thing to collect things. Now, in this case, this is a mailbox, so it's got stamps, stationery, and envelopes, is what it's telling me. So we've used, or it's been used as a border. So we have, again, an orange piece. I like the pen work that's been done.
Yeah, that's a really nice way to highlight some of those torn edges and still keep it, maybe a little bit more classic lines in there. It helps to keep things a little bit tidier that way. She's also torn along the corner here. If we can scoot up, you'll see that.
I think that's very clever too. No doubt she tore a straight piece and then decided to attach it. And then she's matted. And this is the same torn edge. If we get in close, you can kind of see how. And that's the same one I think that you were doing on the vellum.
Right.
Is it? Okay.
Right.
So we've got a little white edge. So we're always wanting to get our money's worth. We always want to have things that are reusable. And so the Rippin rulers are in the 3 flavors.
Yes, fantastic tools. A great investment and a great tool to have that you can reuse over and over again. Cards, scrapbook pages, and even more.